Hello everybody out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I am back with the second video about the series that I am currently reading, and this one is going to be the series that I am caught up on. So these series will have more books coming out, but I have read all of the books that are currently out in these series. This list is a lot shorter than the last video. The last one had like so many series. This one is a lot more manageable. Plus, these ones like I feel good about. The other ones I feel like I'm a little bit of a failure, but these ones I'm like, yes, I've got this. I am caught up on these series. I wish the list was a little bit longer, but it's okay. I am again going to be starting with the series that I don't own so I can have my computer so I don't miss them. And the first series is The Burning by Evan Winter. This started with Rage of Dragons, and I have read the first two books. Only two books are out right now, and I actually don't know when the third book is going to come out or how many books are going to be in this series. But I did quite enjoy the first one. I feel like it was fairly mid for me. This is an adult high fantasy series that follows a boy who's out for revenge. And just so you go into it with realistic expectations, the dragons are quite minimal. So I thought the books are very compulsively readable. They're easy to digest. They're not really complicated. They're just very easy to get through and easy to read, fast-paced, lots of plot. So I will be continuing with it because now I do kind of want to know how it finishes. I think this second book set us up for maybe some interesting world building here. So definitely will be continuing when that one comes out. The only other one that I don't own is Witchy. I honestly don't even remember who the author of this series is, unfortunately, and it was a graphic novel that was included in one of the book boxes, and I read it and did quite enjoy it. I think I will continue with that series, but I don't know if anything else is out, and I don't know when it will be. I haven't really been following it too well, though, honestly, because this isn't something that I read because I saw someone else reading it or because I found it at the bookstore. This is something that was included in a book box, and I've literally never seen anyone else read it. I've heard no one else talk about it, and I've never seen it at a bookstore. So I'm just not positive what is going to happen with this one, but that series I would continue. I'm not super invested in it, so I'm not going to be really sad if I don't, but it's one that I would if I do see the second book. Next series is I don't really know if it has a name, The Age of Uprising series by R.S. Ford. The first one is Engines of Empire. I did read this one recently. My buddy read it with Abby, and I really enjoyed it. I thought this was very fun. I was invested in the world. It's very fast-paced and easy to read. It has a lot of plot, and it moves you through things very quickly. So yeah, overall, this was a great read for me. I'd definitely be continuing with it. Again, I don't really know when the next one comes out. The next series will very soon be moving to my completed series, and that is the Blood Gift Duology by Annie Davenport. The first book is The Blood Trials. This is an adult sci-fi series, and it follows this girl who is going through these trials to become this like high-level warrior within their world, and it definitely has a lot of twists and turns in it that change where we kind of originate with this story. I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun, entertaining. I was invested. I did not love the main character, and I felt like the pacing was a little bit off for me, but overall this was a really fun read. I'm definitely going to be continuing with it. The second book comes out this month, so this one will very soon be moving from the caught up on to the completed. This next series I'm caught up on, but I'm not positive if I'm actually going to be continuing with it, and that is the Acotar series by Sarah J. Maas. Sorry, this one does not have a cover because it came off of these shelves, but this has like a 4-book original series, and then it has another kind of sequel series that has come out since then. I've read the first book in that sequel series, so I've read the first 5 books. And I don't know when the next one's coming out, and I just am not positive if I'm going to be continuing with it because I felt like this most recent book was probably my least favorite out of all the books. I didn't really enjoy it. I felt like it had so many huge plot holes. It was way longer than it needed to be, and I just did not really enjoy what they did with that story. Honestly, it was not something I really was invested in. So this one I am at the moment caught up on, but I am not positive if I will be continuing it. Another one I'm not 100% sure I will be continuing is the Book of Night series by Holly Black. I don't know if it has another name or not. The first book is the Book of Night. I honestly did not like Holly Black's The Cruel Prince series, and I read this one because it came in a book box and then it was my Patreon buddy read, and honestly it was just disappointing. I feel like it didn't have very good world building. I didn't really love the writing style, and overall it was just okay. I think the world itself was fairly intriguing and it had a lot of really interesting parts to it that if other people read the second book and say it's a lot better than the first one and really enjoy it, I could continue on with this series. If other people read it and say, it wasn't anything special, it was very similar to the first one, or it was worse, I probably will not be continuing on with this series. This is an adult urban fantasy series, and so I think Holly Black's first adult work, and it just wasn't the greatest, in my opinion, but if the second book is better, I could continue with it. This next series I am most definitely continuing with, and that is the Monstrous series by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. This is a graphic novel series. I think there are 7 out at the moment, yes, and I have read them all. I am caught up with the series and I absolutely love it. It is so good. I have no idea when the next books volumes are going to be coming out in this series, though. I haven't heard anything about the next one, but I really enjoy it. This is again an adult high fantasy graphic novel series. It is very political. It is a very complex world, and it has a lot of different like magics and gods and things in it, and I just love it so much. I think it's so well done. I think the art style is beautiful. So overall, this is just a great graphic novel series. I don't know how many volumes there will be, and I really don't know when the next one's coming, but I hope it's soon. The next series again came off this bookshelf, and that is the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson, his YA sci-fi series that he did of this young girl who wants to become a pilot, but there's obstacles in her way because her father was a coward, and so they don't want her to join. This series definitely goes places that you would not expect from the first one. It really opens up. I have read the first 3 novels in the series as well as the 3 novellas that go along with it, and the final book is going to be coming out November of this year. It's going to be at Sanderson's conference that he has every year, and so I of course am going to go, and I am going to be finishing this series. I think the 3rd book in the series was my least favorite so far, and so I'm really hoping that it'll end well. I feel like Sanderson does really good endings, and I so far have loved all the endings to his series, so I'm really hoping that this one will be the same and I will love it, and so I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, I didn't even realize it has a little embossing on it, so I don't know if you can see that, but that's kind of cool. But yes, definitely going to be continuing on with this series, and I will finish it this year. This next book, it was really kind of a surprise how much I loved it, and that is The Black Tongue Thief by Christopher Buehlman. I read this for a readathon, and it was just so much fun. It's an adult high fantasy series that has a lot of wit and humor and sarcasm, and it has this kind of found family aspect to it. It has an animal companion, has a journey. I just really loved it. I thought it was so fun and just easy to read, and I got so into it. This was such a great book. I have heard nothing about the next book, but honestly, I have been very behind on keeping up with new releases, so I don't know when the next book is coming out, and I don't know how many is going to be in this series. Oh, I hope it's just a trilogy. Does it say anywhere? I doubt it says anywhere. That'd be too convenient. Yeah, I really don't know how many books will be in here or when the next book is coming out, but I definitely will be continuing with this series because it was a lot of fun. Next, we have the only middle grade book series on this list, and that is the Nevermore series by Jessica Townsend. This is such an adorable series. I love it so much. It follows this main character, Morgan Crow, who's supposed to die on her birthday, but then gets whisked away to the land of Nevermore and has to compete in these trials, and it's just so cute. I love the found family in here. I love the characters in here. I think it's just adorable and sweet, and the world is just magical, and it's just a great time. This series is fun. It's just fun to be in this world, and I like Morgan. I think she's an adorable main character. There are currently 3 books out in this series, and the 4th book was supposed to come out like a year ago, and it got delayed for some reason. I am not sure why. So I actually already have my pre-order in for the next book in this series, and I have no idea when it's gonna come out, so we'll see about that. I don't know how many books are also going to be in this series overall. I don't know if she said, but I definitely am going to be continuing. This next one is one that I honestly don't know if I'm going to continue or not. I probably will because I feel like it is good for readathons, but that is the Up and Under series by A. Deborah Baker, which the first one is Over the Woodward Wall. This was referenced a lot in Middle Game, which is why I initially picked it up. Plus, I absolutely love the cover. I think it's so beautiful. I think Shauna McGuire does a really good job of having very beautiful, appealing covers, which is something that draws me to her works because I love beautiful covers. But this is just a very bizarre, nonsensical world where these children go into, and they are kind of on this quest to try to get home, as far as I can tell. And there's just a lot of different characters. We go through a lot of interesting situations, and overall I'm just not that invested in it. I don't really care. I don't feel any stakes. I don't know. It's just not something that I am that into, but I may or may not continue it. I've read the first 2 books, and as far as I know, only 2 books are out so far in this series. And the final book on this list is a YA fantasy series, and that is the Soul of Terry series. This is the second one, Forgotten Souls. The first one is Immortal Sands by Mackenzie Mon, and this series is, again, a YA or new adult fantasy series. Follow this girl who broke out of prison to save her sister, and I really enjoyed this. This is a self-published series, which I think is one of the only self-published books on these lists, honestly, which is kind of crazy. But I have read the first and the second book, and I think there are going to be 5 books, and the third one I believe is coming out next year. I don't know all the details about it, but I think that's when it should be coming out. But I really do enjoy this series a lot. I really like the world building in here. I like our main characters and a lot of our side characters as well. I think that I'm very interested to see like where we go with this and the direction that it ends up taking. So definitely going to be continuing with this when the next one comes out. I think I can probably get away with reading the next one without rereading the first 2 books too, which is nice. Okay, those are all the series that I am caught up on. I feel like it's not as many as I would like it to be, but in all reality, it's kind of nice because I don't have to watch out for new releases as much because it's not as many, and I already do know when some of them are coming out. So let me know down in the comments if you feel like any of these books that I'm kind of on the fence on, I should just DNF and move on from. Let me know series that you're really excited for the next book to come out in. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you'll be notified when I post new content. Keep your eyes out for the next video talking about the series that I am reading, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.